What is up, everybody? It's me, Duke Farley, back at it again on Lost at Sea, and here we are talking about week 6 of Big Brother. But before we jump into it, Uncle Shane, how are you? What's been going on with you, man?
Not a lot. Come here, bud. We'll show everybody. Today was a really fun day around the house. Ollie got groomed.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
that's
So
a haircut.
he's gonna look into the camera. There we go. So that's what happened for us. That's it, man. That's all I got
Just
going.
looked into my soul.
Pat, how's gym class today? Good.
It's good. We did capture the flag today, and it was fine.
Okay, just fine.
Yeah, kids are interesting.
I can only imagine. Guys, last time we talked, we left off with a Tucker HOH win, and he had nominated Quinn, Brooklyn, and Cam, the remaining kind of remnants of the Pentagon Alliance. And then we see, Tucker win veto again. And guys, this is kind of monumental. He has now won 6 competitions in the first 6 weeks. And he makes a spectacle again of this veto. So he is killing the competitions, and he's bringing a lot to the show. So what did you guys think of the veto? Him using it on Quinn, and just the spectacle that is Tucker at this point.
I'm just blown away that Brooklyn was so hurt. And I think it was like when she left the game and she was like, Julie would be like, and did you know that the only person that voted for you was so? She's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like almost like she knew everything that had happened. It was like, honey, if you knew what was happening, you wouldn't have been you're not going to be out of the game. And then the other part of it was she was just like, Tucker is, like they're afraid of Tucker and they were afraid of me. It's like nobody was afraid of you. Like you were only on Tucker's radar. Nobody thought twice about the Texas mom. They didn't care. She had such high self-esteem.
Yeah, I think Brooklyn was like definitely more of a strategic player, but she didn't make a ton of moves. But from Tucker's perspective, if you're not a legitimate threat, I don't think anyone's a threat to him. He doesn't view anyone as a threat. So he's like, all right, Brooklyn has a bit better of a social game than most people. So that's who goes up. It's crazy how much domination this Tucker is doing, that he could just be like, I don't even care about Quinn. I'm going to save him. That's how much of a non-threat I think he is. It's crazy.
It's like when a cat finds a mouse and he doesn't kill it, it just like slaps it around for like hours, and you're like, man, just put like one claw through it and end it. Like they don't. That's what's happening here.
He's playing with his food. That's what you're saying. You're great. I wanted to ask you guys, what did you think of just the polar opposite approaches of both of the nominees, Cam and Brooklyn? When they're about to be eliminated, Brooklyn's really fighting hard at the last couple of seconds, and then Cam, he just kind of looks like laissez-faire, like he's good with whatever.
Yeah, I think Cam kind of knew. I guess he must have known that I'm good.
But he almost wasn't.
For a second, it did look like they might flip, but I do think that Brooklyn was, we do rag on Brooklyn. I do think she was definitely more. Cam has done literally nothing, quite literally not a single thing. Every time he comes on camera, I'm like, give me something, nothing. Has done nothing. And so.
But Pat, didn't last week you wanted him to be the AI instigator?
The reason I wanted that to happen is because I wanted him to do something. Hey, let's take a look at what Cam's doing. Cam is nothing. Cam is such a snooze fest. It's almost the only thing that is beneficial for Cam is that he doesn't want to go home. He's basically Kenny if he didn't want to go home. And so not doing anything. So I think that logistically the right move was Brooklyn, 100%. And I think also Chelsea worked her magic this week too, had a much different approach than the two nominees, being like, acknowledging that Quinn is kind of a snake, and but also maintaining relationships and still being like, I can be an asset. Let me just be likable, like more likable than Brooklyn or Cam. Let me be a social player. And people were like, yeah, I would fight for Chelsea, which I think that's what makes her way more dangerous. And that's what I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and it even bleeds into this this week where we see obviously T-Core win HOH, and she still is not going after Chelsea. Chelsea is still in the good graces of a T-Core, Chemo, and Rubina. So I think Chelsea is playing fantastic after this Pentagon has kind of been in shambles.
Oh yeah, I think for her part in that, the way she's navigated out of this, I mean, Quinn is like couldn't have played it worse. Chelsea's the exact opposite, couldn't have played it better, and so that's really cool to see her kind of like take the entire ship going down. Like, all right, let me find out what I can do, and has just continuously been impressive socially. So that's really cool to watch. She's like, and she's also thinking ahead too, which is cool to watch. So Chelsea's a really good player.
Uncle Shane, during Brooklyn's exit interview with Julie, we got to see some of the goodbye messages, and I wanted to see if you caught, the one with Angela where she was mad about the meats and cheeses.
Yeah, you know what? So Patrick and I saw each other this weekend, and we had a conversation about it, Duke. And we were talking about it, and I think we figured out that you typically save those messages for when there's less players and there's less stuff to sort of report on, and like you got to fill the show with something. So that eats up some time. I think the only reason why they did it this one is because she brought up the meats and cheeses. Like it was so good that they knew the audience was going to love it. Like I loved it. Like I think, like I just felt fantastic when she said it. Like it was like I felt like it was just such a great moment that I would expect Angela to be thinking about meats and cheeses for a long time, and then when she does it, it's so wonderful.
It's great. It's funny because Maya's sister, who doesn't watch the show, saw the edit because it went viral online. The edit of Angela and the meats and cheese, and she sent it to Maya. I was like, "What is this? Isn't this the show that you watch?" And she's like, "Yeah, that was actually a huge part of the episode were the meats and cheeses." And they edited it so perfectly. It's so funny. And here's the thing, I don't know what it is, but anytime someone makes Angela upset, they leave. I don't know. She's I don't know what kind of black magic she's doing, but if I'm in that house,
Pat, I think she's winning Big Brother 26 is what she's doing.
if she wins, honestly, I hope she does. I'm full Angela. Can't get enough terror. Like I can't stand her. I love watching her, and it's great. And I want her to win because that would be really funny.
I have another thing about Angela, but we'll talk about that a little bit later in this discussion.
Yeah. There's one other moment.
Wow.
But I wanted to go back to the veto competition where they go through the house and they hide everything. What did you guys think of Brooklyn's strategy of rip all of Tucker's shit out of his closet and throw it around? And then blame it on Quinn.
It's like this guy's crushing everybody. Nobody can touch him. So why not mess up his clothes? Like that was just like a little thing that she could do. It's so funny that I thought, he was convinced it was Quinn, because he knows how to read people and he's able to like figure that stuff out. Like he's like a CIA operative.
That's so funny that he keeps doing that, and he's kind of wrong. Like he's so good at competing that he kind of gets information, but like anytime he reads someone, it's wrong.
He can't read people. That's the thing, is like he's unbelievable at balancing on a beam, on like putting together a puzzle, but he can't read a person, which is the one thing that he says he can do.
Yeah.
And then I thought some of the Mackenzie, her hiding spot for, right next to the door, right in the planter, right next to the door. And Tucker on his first try immediately goes right to that spot and finds it. What
That
are we
was
doing here?
that was crazy that he walked in, just went right to the left, found it immediately. And because when she first put it down, I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's kind of a good spot. And then he found it. I was like, I guess that's not a very good spot. I don't. I also love that Joseph was like, I'm gonna try to make mine the first one found, and it came to. I was like, if he accidentally wins hide and go veto, that's gonna piss me off so much.
I can't stand that dude. More and more, like I like everybody on the show, even Cam, who does nothing. Like he's just a likable guy. I can't stand Joseph. Like I really dislike him. There's nothing that he does that I think is funny when he pretends he doesn't know it's Julie asking him for his vote. When he's like, who this? When he's on the couch, like it's like you douche. He's the worst.
I think that who dis bit gets a laugh from the audience every time though, doesn't it?
From like the studio audience of losers that waited all afternoon to sit in there, maybe. That's not a sophisticated audience.
Man, you're hating on the staff, man.
Just cut to me being like, "Oh, I actually got tickets for the live eviction." Yeah, I mean, hide and go veto is what I think that's my favorite veto like competition, and and good Brooklyn. Like, yeah, if you're pissed, yeah, throw shit. Who cares? I don't know if we remember what was his name? They mentioned him in the veto from a few seasons ago.
Oh, Brett.
Brett.
Yeah, Brett.
Yeah, that guy was, and I was like, that is a good strategy. Just
the best offense is defense.
The best offense is defense. And I do like that she mentioned that, but like, yeah, if you're on the block and you're if you don't win, yeah, throw all his shit. What, like, and then, I would be upset too if that happened, but like, well, that's kind of what you get. You put somebody on the block and you play a veto where you can throw shit around. They're going to throw your shit around.
Yeah.
Do you think that they bring in professional cleaners to clean the place?
I think it's just on them to clean it up afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Which kind of sucks.
That does.
Yeah, I'd be really salty.
And then I wanted to talk about the AI comp between the three of these nominees. Were you guys like, they really should have gotten this a lot quicker than they did? Because I feel like I could read everything within the first, yeah. I was like so confused how they were struggling so bad.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that because I do the spelling bee, the New York Times spelling bee. I do Wordle right into spelling bee every day. So I saw it and I just thought like, oh, maybe because I feel like I'm trained from playing that every day. But now I realize, no, it really was that easy. Like a child.
At one point, they just did like literally horizontally what it says, like at the end, because they were like, "We're running out of time, guys. We gotta go."
Yeah, I can only have to put the pictures up for them.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the control room. The director's like, I don't know how they're not fucking get it. Cut to the word. Cut to the word. I don't. I wanted to ask you guys, what did you think when Tucker, before the veto, Tucker was like, I might save Quinn if he shuts his mouth, and then immediately Quinn goes to Brooklyn and Brooklyn goes to Quinn, just expelling all that information. And I'm like, Quinn, for the love of God, it's not working. Stop talking. I feel like that is just going to be the theme of this season is Quinn, stop talking. Shut up.
I love that he thinks he's so maniacal. It's like nobody buys into that. He's like a sweet little dude, right? Like he's like, oh, it's fun, little Quinn. Nobody thinks you're maniacal. Nobody thinks that you're like putting things together. You're fucking up your game, but you're kind of fun because you're like the guy who twerks. You have a crush on the blonde. She's not interested. That's fun to watch, Like,
but I just, oh my God, as like I chose him because I thought he is a super fan. And every time he does that, I'm like, Quinn, like, the pattern of what happens. You can't say anything. It's going to get leaked. You're not like, please stop talking. Why have you not learned this? If I talk to Chemo and Chemo outs my entire game, I'm not going to say anything to Chemo. or if the HOH is willing to take me off the block if I shut my mouth, which miraculously he does already. But when Tucker's the guy to do that because he's insane, just stop talking. Just stop talking.
Yeah. Yeah, Quinn is puzzling because he's still blindly loyal to the Visionaries, even though they're kind of just like still not about him. I just don't
I
get
know.
it.
No, but you know what? When Chemo and T-Core get together, it's like that's a snooze fest for me. Like their little conversations, I'm just like, oh God, please interrupt this. Have Angela walk in, like do something that's interesting. I can't. Those two are so boring to me.
You didn't like the Chemo singing bit?
Okay, well, I was waiting for you to get to that.
Well,
I had to check to make sure I didn't have a gummy. Like I thought maybe like I had a gummy or something. Cause I was like, is he like, did they do that? Did they like kind of put that together? And then she's dancing and they cut it together. You know, then she's dancing and because she wasn't listening to him sing, was she?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
You know, because she was down in the everybody bathroom and he was up in the special room and he was just Barry Whiting us. And then it was so strange.
Keto's got a good voice though. He's got some
Not
pipes
bad.
on. Not bad.
You know what else was so strange was the reception that T-Core got after she won HOH. And I think Mackenzie said it best where everybody was just following her around. Everybody was so emotional that she had won. I was so confused on that.
Yeah. And Mackenzie looked like this looks crazy, but then she was like the odd person out because you watched as they like trailed her from room to room. And then what about the tears between like it was like a Chemo what's the girl's name?
Rubina, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a Rubina Chemo cry off. Like who could like get more
strange. I had the same reaction. I was so confused on. I was like, listen, I think T-Core is a great play. I don't think her and Chemo are playing great. You know, they've truly just flipped the house and like positioned themselves to be like just truly in a great position. And then that's solidified by everyone bawling their eyes out with happiness. And I was like, okay, I guess their position in the game is really good.
Surely not everybody can be that happy that she won.
Right? I mean, but that's what I wasn't understanding what, and you know, if I had the same reaction as Mackenzie. I was like, what? This is kind of weird. Like, I don't think anyone's reacted that way for anyone.
Well, so like if this was an award show and it was like the most awkward crying, you know, scene. Also, there was the Leah Mackenzie crying after the first guy left, Matt.
Matt,
right?
That's
Remember, she walks in and she's got this big smile, and it was like boom! It was like waterworks, and the two of them had to hold each other for a little while.
And that's also, I think that's more weird, just because he was only there for like 5 days, so that is so that's true. But yeah, I just wasn't. Everyone was overcome with emotion because she won HOH, and it's like, you know, Chemo, I get it. They're like best friends, and he's like, that's probably like a safety thing, and now they have the power. And Rubina, I mean, okay, but like everyone trailing her, I was like, that's weird.
It gave me the ickies.
Yeah.
Dude, can you remember the tune to which Chemo was singing? How did that song go?
Pat, you recreated it. You were good at it. It's a remix. It was definitely a remix.
What
kind of fire.
It was just like in the Big Brother house. He just kept singing in the Big Brother house.
Yeah.
So T-Core wins. I thought the competition was kind of funny. It was this just like remember sounds kind of thing. But she has kind of an easy route to her nominees. She has, you know, the awkward conversations with, you know, 3 potential nominees, you know, Mackenzie, Leah, Cam, that are not really given anything. And then Tucker.
Especially Leah. Leah really gave 0.
Yeah. Also,
She
by
got
the way,
frozen.
in the HOH competition, I don't know if you guys picked this up. They were also just hysterically laughing at the whole, and I was like, I don't think any of this is really that funny, but
No.
yeah, they were like, oh my god, how crazy is that? I was like, one's just Kenny shaving his head. What's funny about that? Like,
You know what I think it is? I think it's because they know they're on this television show. They haven't seen any footage of it. So you show them a little footage of themselves and they're like babies. They're like so excited. Like, hey, look at us.
That's true. Yeah.
But Tucker decides to be offer the pawn again. Is this the time where is gonna come back and bite him? Do you think? Is this one of the 5 times that it might come back and bite him?
See, T-Core couldn't have had a better situation happen to her for Tucker to offer himself as a pawn, because this is what's most likely going to happen. He's going to win and he's going to take himself off. That's fine. But if he doesn't, if by some chance he loses and some chance he's still on the block come Thursday, he's gone. 100% gone. And T-Core is the savior. And she didn't even nominate him. Well, she did nominate, but he put himself on the block. So if it's a win-win situation for T-Core, because, she doesn't get extra blood on her hands. The best case scenario is that he loses, he stays on the block, and they vote him out. And she, on her HOH, got out the biggest target.
Do you actually think that he's up there against, say, Cameron McKenzie, that they're all going to turn on him and vote him out?
That's their shot, man. That's their only shot.
If he is on the block come eviction night and they don't give it, I'll take out a loan and give him $750,000 because that's insane. If you don't, if he's on the block come eviction night and you don't take the shot, no one deserves that money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would love to see. I would love to see it. Obviously, he's gonna probably
got a
win.
God complex. Like, why does he have to tell T-Core that he'll go up? It's like, enough, dude.
She would have nominated Leah had he not said anything. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, because regardless, I think T-Core had it easy. It was like, okay, I have the 3 that I'm not really working with. The 2, and they gave the worst answers. They did. They didn't come up with anyone. Yeah, put them up. I mean, that could be blood on your hands, but not really. You're not working with any of them. But this gift falls out of the sky for T-Core, which, again, she doesn't get blood on her hands with Tucker because he volunteered. The best case scenario is that somehow he loses, which I don't think he will. I think he's either going to win this or win AI Arena. But if he doesn't, that sets T-Core and Chemo up for a huge rest of the game. You get out the biggest threat in Big Brother in years, this competition beast, and it's on your HOH.
And
I bet CBS is nervous as hell that he could go home, because he is, he's the reason to watch this show right now.
Yeah. And he wins this BB instigator.
America loves him. That's why, because America loves this dude now.
And Pat, I think it said he could earn up to 20,000, or was it 50,000? 20,000.
20.
So what do we think of his first usage of the power with Quinn? He reveals, he outs. I don't know if it's outing, but he outs himself and Rubina, and then at the end he goes #the Pentagon. I don't really know. Kind of mixed feelings on this one, right?
I thought it was a myth.
You didn't like it, Pat?
I don't. Yeah, I was like, I don't think you needed, because I feel like people kind of knew about Tucker and Rubina from what it seems, and I think putting that on Quinn, I think it's just a little obvious, and I don't know why. I get the idea of like Tucker doing that he said it for a joke. I'm probably for the reason being to just out it so that they can be a showmance, and that makes sense. And then to kind of take the heat off of him and Rubina, because why would he do that? Could be the thoughts of other people, but it seems like people kind of caught on to the fact that it's definitely not Quinn. Which, if I'm Tucker, and Quinn's kind of like my target or whatever, I would just pin it on the people that I want, who I think are the biggest threats. Quinn's not going to do it on himself. I don't know. I thought it was just like, I didn't see the purpose of it. I thought it was kind of a miss, but
I think it's one of those things where it was a smart move. You target yourself first in it, so nobody's going to think that it's Tucker. And I didn't get the sense from what I saw that anybody thinks it's Tucker. They're more thinking about like, oh, there's this new play. Someone has the power in the house, and America has chosen who that is, clearly. And so I think they got that right, but I don't think that they know that it's Tucker, and I don't think that they're going to think it's Tucker or Rubina because of the way that he did it. I just wanted more of them. Like, I didn't want one and then the episode ends. I wanted like, fucking Angela shouldn't be eating charcuterie anyway. And it's like Hot Mackenzie saying it to cause real problems. Let's rip into some people. It doesn't all have to be about game. Let's go for some personal attacks.
Okay, so yeah, you wanted to get a little personal then.
I would destroy that. Like, I would be doing things like every 5 minutes. Like their programmers would be in the back. It would be like, fucking Cam just ripped one in the fucking kitchen. Thanks. Like, I'm doing shit like that.
I think we are gonna get more on the next episode, but you're right. I was hoping for more, but it's
and it seems like Tucker, he felt like it didn't land the way he wanted it to land either. Yeah, we're being a little emotional.
If they had put Angela in the box doing it, what would her reaction be?
That's not me, guys. Guys, that's not. I didn't say that. Angela, shut up. We know. Angela, it's clearly the whole thing, the whole point of it. God damn it. Just go eat meats and cheeses, Angela. Please get out of here.
And speaking of Angela, we have to talk about, the last little scene we see in the episode of her, she thinks she's getting nominated. She goes into the H room crying, and the reaction is shocked by some of the people, to say the least.
Dude, they're so over her. Like they do not want her drama. It's like her tears are so phony. It's so fake. Oh God. I love it.
As soon as the door opened and it was her, I was like, oh my God.
She's just like a little kid walking in there. Sad little kid.
Dude, oh my God. That stuff, it's so uncomfortable for me to watch. I can't imagine being in the situation in which, T-Core and I'm so bad in those scenarios, and she just causes them constantly. Oh my God.
Does she? All right, so she's 50 years old, right? So she's probably has children in their late 20s. So could you imagine if that was your mom and people were watching her behave like that every week? How would you handle it? Like, if I knew that I worked with somebody and that was their mom, I would be over top of their cubicle every day being like, boy, your mom, man.
Dude, I talked to our mom, and because I was like, you got to hear about this woman, Angela. And because Tess is watching it, she catches glimpses. And of course she sees Angela, and I'm like, Mom, if you did that, I don't know what I would do. Like, I'd be so ashamed.
Oh, she's so good. She's so good.
She's great. I never want her to leave, but I can't stand her.
Do we think that we have reached the end of pre-jury yet? Because we haven't had an announcement about jury at all. And Babe has been on the Reddit, Big Brother Reddit, and she has heard things about potentially there being only 7 jurors this season. So we might see 2 more pre-jurors. Do you guys think that's the
How many
case?
jurors were there last year?
I think there were 7 too, right?
Last
think
year, I
there
felt
were.
like it was a smaller jury after years of a larger jury.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So 7. How many people are in the house now?
We're down to the final 11 here. So 5 people have been eliminated. So
Oh,
it would
so-
be another 2 if it was a jury of 7.
I
So
hope
this week and then next week.
it's a big jury. But it looks like they're probably going to be 7. But
Yeah. Yeah. I was not expecting that.
Are
But
you guys ready for those forced moments of like, hey man, I wonder who's coming in the house. Who do you guys think is coming in the house? I don't. Oh, and then the limo opens.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see you. I didn't want to. Oh my god! I didn't want
And
to.
a
know what?
sketcher pops out, and you realize it's Angela.
Oh, it's
But
like,
yeah,
hey, you want to know how I got out? It's better if I show you.
And they have like a VHS tape. It's like, wait, we don't even
Yeah.
use those
It's
now.
also masked on, so they're clearly not watching it live.
so interesting. I did not think that you got Patrick specifically. You would be and Uncle Shane. You guys thought that if Tucker's on the block, that his entire alliance would turn on him. I did not
Yeah.
think that would be the case.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, how do they not?
I'm just thinking because that alliance had just been made literally that week. They came together, they did something, and you think that they will immediately turn on them the first chance they get?
Well, I think they would, because even based on if it was Chelsea and Cam on the block, people were going to keep Chelsea.
Yeah.
They were willing to make the flip because everybody realizes that Tucker does have too much power. And if his own showmance is like, I'm not here to play a man's game, I'll work with T-Core and Chemo to flip against Tucker.
Yeah, but that's going against one of Tucker's potential friends. That's not going against Tucker himself, who's helped them a lot.
Well, yeah, but I can't imagine a world that if Tucker is on the block come eviction night, you don't take that shot. I mean, here's what I'm
And there's nobody that will be sitting next to him that's going to win this. You can't beat him.
No, there's literally no one. And I think they all have to, like, there's enough people in there, like Chelsea, T-Core, Chemo, even Rabina, even the people who aren't really, like, even Mackenzie, Leah. I mean, I don't know about Joseph or Cam. Quinn, too. It's like, if you all have the self-awareness to know that he is absolutely dominating in this game, you have to take the shot if he's there. Now, if I'm CBS, if he gets evicted, they have to do it. I think there's going to be a battle back. And if he's in that's the worst case scenario, is that if he makes it a jury, there's a battle back. He's going to dominate, and he's going to be even worse. So I think there's definitely going to be a battle back this season. I would love to see Tucker go out and then come right back in.
They only do a battle back when the network loses an opponent that they absolutely love. So they're like, oh fuck, get the battle back ready.
Yeah, it's rock, paper, scissors. Tucker, go.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I would be shocked. I just think it would be too early. I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't. Because you have to think that this twist of AI arena is going to end soon, and they'll have at least one other opportunity to get him out. And he's such a huge shield for all of them.
Yeah,
Did you notice that Joseph, like I thought Joseph did like a wacky pratfall in one of the episodes, and then I just thought like, oh, that was a fluke, like, and nobody laughed. And then he did it again in another episode, and I was like, oh, that's his thing. He's like the wacky pratfall guy, like he does like a wacky fall. Like, I hate him. Did I mention that?
You hate the stash, man. You hate the winner pick. I can't believe it, man.
Dude, I know that's your boy, but come on.
Yeah, I don't know, Duke. I just have a tough time believing that it if he's there. I mean, because even if they think they probably think it's still pre-jury because at this point, I mean, if they get him out pre-jury, there's literally no chance he comes back. So that could be a thing too. It's like, okay, we need to get him out before pre-jury. If it's a jury, it might be. I think there's gonna be a battle back, but I don't know. Maybe there's different mindsets going in there. But I hear what you're saying. Like it is, there are benefits to keeping Tucker, but he's so dominant that
And I guess you make a good point because they're even questioning his loyalty within that alliance literally last week with him talking a lot to Leah, Mackenzie, and Cam. They're like, is he with us? Is he not?
Yeah.
Is he playing everyone? So
Yeah,
I can see
Rubin is
that.
upstairs, like in the bed, like waiting for him. He's talking to the two hottest girls in the house. She's like, I wonder what that's about. You don't know what that's about? Like, I'll tell you what it's about. You know, he's weighing his options here. It's real clear what it's about. But you know what? If they get down to that, like that episode that happens on like the Wednesday before the Thursday and Friday episode or whatever, however they play it, where they sit around the table and they talk about the memories of the house. So it's just basically a clip show. All the memories are of Tucker. Like they're the best. There might be one little segment, one little segment on Angela and the charcuterie and the crying and the racist comments, but everything else is Tucker's like highlights.
Yeah. What would this season be like without him? It'd be snooze fest, guys.
it would be.
Because remember, that's the only reason why Angela's still in the house is because of Tucker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Angela would be long gone without Tucker. I think T-Core and Chemo. I think they're and Chelsea. I think they're all like really solid players, and they are entertaining to watch. But they just don't have the dom. Like everybody's a little bit more careful. Tucker's just an anomaly in this game where he's like, I don't care. I don't care about what like strategically. Don't give a fuck. I'm not even going to consider that. I just want to shake things up and I want to make this entertainment for me, which is crazy. And it's
Correct.
so fun. If he wasn't there, it would be a more traditional game of Big Brother with, some more strategy. There'd be there'd be 100% lot less chaos. So thank God we need a Tucker every single season. Just somebody who's like, we'll give you $50,000. Just go be a dick to everyone and blow up everything and dominate everything. It's great.
They're gonna bring him back for another season for sure.
I'm calling it right now. Heroes, villains, he's coming back.
Angela and him as a duo.
What was that?
Angela and him as a duo.
I would
Dude,
put him and Angela on The Amazing Race.
oh my God. Dude, that would be so funny because she would hold him back so hard, but he's so good. He would just force them to get.
He'd be running through an airport, jumping over people. She's eating charcuterie in the bar.
Where did you get that?
Like, where are you getting the meats and cheeses? It's insane. And every time I look back, the BLT thing too. Jesus Christ.
She has to make a spectacle of everything.
And everybody's
still
counting
here.
it down.
I'm living my dream.
All right, guys. Well, that's all I have from this week. But yeah, anything else that you guys can think of before we close out?
I hate
we
Joseph.
All right. All right. Well, we'll close out then.